Hey there, this is Derek Henry with XLEV8 Consulting, and in this how-to video, we're going to talk about a really cool macro called the Filter Picker. Now, just like a couple dozen other picker-style macros, what's going to happen is when you run it, and the default keyboard shortcut for this one is Control-Shift-F, it's going to show you a variety of actions you can perform related to filters. Now, in this case, there are several of those, and some of these are quick little shortcuts for things you can already do in Excel. Others are things you can't really do in Excel, and it just makes it possible, right? So as an example, we're going to run through all of these. So the first thing we're going to do is just adding the filter in general. See, notice there's no filter applied here, there's no arrows showing. So we're going to select the entire range, and when we run this, we're going to pick option A, or apply the filter and freeze the panes. So what that's going to do is, just like we said, it's going to apply the filter, freeze panes on the top row that is selected. It's also going to prompt us, do we want to autofill the selected columns? Most of the time people pick yes there, but you can choose not to. In this case, I'm going to make this one column a little bit smaller so we can see everything here. That's what it does. So if you need to apply the filter really fast, normally when you do that, you want to freeze that top row. You can do those in one step. Now, another one that's very common is to filter to a specific value or series of values. So if we wanted to filter to just this paste special here, we're going to run it again and click option T. And it filters to just that particular value in whatever columns you have selected. Now, if we want to unfilter that, we've got a couple of options. Let's say we want to unfilter everything and show all the cells. We're going to run it, we're going to pick option U. Now, because that's my default that I prefer, it's already selected, it's already even highlighted, so literally you just have to press enter. You don't even have to press U. Now, you can pick any of the options here and set it as a default. So if we wanted to change this to C, we could set as a default, just click here, or you could even enter it just like this. Most people just like to check the box, right? It's very easy to reset your default over and over again depending on what you're doing. Now if we make this U, it's going to unfilter everything. Now if we wanted to click several values, option T is going to use all of those values. It's not just for one value. Notice how it filtered out everything below. Now one of the things you might want to do is filter out just on that particular column. So click X. X is clear filter in the active column. Okay, so that goes away, and now you can see the entire list of a few hundred rows. Let's talk about filtering out. Sometimes you want to just see everything other than a value. So let's pick a couple of these. Let's say we want to get rid of these two. We're going to run it. We're going to click O for filter out. It'll filter out those two, leave everything else. You can scroll down and see everything else. Right? Now, let's say we wanted to filter to the next item in the drop-down. So if we wanted to do option U there. So now we're showing everything. If we were to do this manually, right, we've got, say, 20 values or so here. Let's say we wanted to filter to just colors, okay? We can do that. You know now how to use the filter to do that more quickly. Let's say you wanted to run the next one and you want to iterate through those. Maybe they're store numbers, maybe they're dates, maybe they're alphabetical values, names or something. If you want to see the next one in the series, basically if you were to click those icons, click in here. And whatever's next in that list, the unique value when you sort them, it's going to go to it. So comments in this case, if you do it again, it's going to show content. In the same token, if you press P, it will go to the previous one. So now you're seeing comments again. Press P, now we're seeing colors again. Okay, so it lets you iterate very quickly without having to use the mouse. I'm going to unfilter this, and let's talk about some math. So there is an option in here to do between, greater than, equal than, all the different operators for math. So we're going to, let's say we want to see everything in this particular column that is less than 4. So we're going to run it, we're going to press M and then put a less than symbol and a 4. And you're seeing everything less than 4. Or if we wanted to run it again and say M greater than or equal to 2, see everything 2 and above. There you go. So you're seeing everything other than 1 in this case, right? But it also works with dates. Let's say we wanted to see everything in the years 2018 and 19. We're going to put in a range here of, this means option M, a space, B means between. Then we want to put in the date, then the less than symbol, and then the ending date. So it tells you the instructions right here, just if you forget. Basically, you want to put in what the range is and separate it by that less than symbol. When you do that, notice how everything in this column here, right, you can check it down here. The minimum is here, the maximum is here, so it's within that date range. That one's pretty cool because if you're doing a lot of filtering and analysis on numbers and dates, right, pretty helpful. Now let's say you want to filter based on what's in your keyboard. So you've copied from something and you want to filter on whatever's in your clipboard so that you don't have to redo that. Right, so we're going to go into the column that has the values that I'm looking for. We're going to run it in with option C. Whatever is in your clipboard is going to be used to filter to. Now, if you have multiple values, then separate them with a pipe character. That's this character right here like that, okay? So separate any of those. Now, there are other macros that work with this that will put that in place when you're copying values. Just note that's what's going on here. Actually, looks just like this, so that's what I just copied into the clipboard. And so you select option C here, and it will filter to whatever is in the clipboard. Right? You see how those three right there, the top three, the first three values that you tend to see in this list. That one could be pretty helpful. What if we have some zero values that we want to filter to or we want to filter out? Well, then click option Z will filter to the zeros. Maybe you have to review these and fix them somehow. Right? What if you want to filter them out? We'll put a Z and an X. It will filter out those zeros. Notice how they're hidden. The same thing applies to blanks. Let's say we want to see all the blanks. Okay, well, there we go. Option B. You want to filter them out? Option B with an X. And then even better, what if you want to see everything that is not blank and not zero? Then put in BZX. I know it's really weird to type that, but it does work. If that's something you're doing over and over and over again, set it as your default. A couple other things here. Let's say we want to do fill colors. So we've got a couple of fill colors here, right? Just go to the cell that has a fill color you want to filter to. Click option F for fill color here, right? And then it will go straight to it. And a couple more. Let's see, if you want to extend the range, so let's say we have a couple more columns over here that we want to include, or maybe data below, right? Just run the, you don't have to highlight everything, just run the picker, press E for extend the range to the right or below. And what it's going to do is it's going to say, hey, do you want to include more rows? Here's the old range, here's the new suggested one, or columns to the right, or both. So just pick option R, C, or B to include those. In this case, we want to do the columns. Right? Then it will extend the filter out for you. Let's say you want to use a slicer. Now, if you've never seen slicers before, they're a visual representation of what's being filtered. Really, really cool. So option L here for insert slicer. It's going to require it to be in a table. So if you click yes, it will convert it to a table for you. Notice how now we have a table, right? And then the slicer is going to be up toward the top wherever we added it. Right, so what happens is if you want to just filter, notice in column G complexity here, right? You can click one or more values with the control and then click. It's a visual representation. This works really well when you have pivot tables and when you're going to print something out or present it, just so people are on the same page with what is being filtered, right? Because that context can often be very helpful. I'm going to get rid of that because we don't really need that anymore. A couple more options here. If you run option S, that's going to present you with sort options. This is called the quick sort macro. So what it's going to do is let you save 5 common sort favorite methodologies of sorting. So column A ascending, then B ascending, then D descending, something like that. All you're going to do is enter the column underscore which direction, A or Z. In this case we'll do A. Separate by a comma. Right, let's say then we want to do column C descending and column E ascending. Right? So you can just click that. Now if we wanted to make that our favorite, okay, we could just add the word default all caps with a 4. That's going to be the new favorite here. Okay, so it's going to sort, but the next time we run it, okay, so this is option S on the filter picker. Notice how that is now our 4th option. Okay, so really handy. If you're going to be sorting the exact same way a lot of times, you can use that. Now, what if you want to sort and filter all the time the same way? You're running the same report all the time. You want to save those values. Then you're going to love this one. So let's run the shortcut again. And this is option D. Okay, so apply, save default filter values. Now it's going to do 3 things. It's going to save the filter values. It's going to save the sorting. And then it's also going to save any column widths. Okay, so if you want to also include any of those. So what we're going to do here, the first thing you want to do actually before you run that, you want to apply some filtering. So in this case, let's say we're going to do this and this and this, and I'm only using a mouse here to show you what I'm filtering so you can stay with me, right? Let's say we want to filter everything that is just 2 through 4 here, and then maybe everything that is these values right here, okay? And then we're going to sort this one ascending, this one descending, and this one ascending again. And some of those are going to override each other, whatever, that's fine. So now we're going to run this, Option D, and then we are going to press X so that we can save a new one. What we're doing is we're giving it a name, so X, then a space, then a name, another space, and then default 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5. So just like this. That's going to now be option number 2. So it saves it. Now let's go to the exact same data over here. Only thing is we have to copy this to match it with exactly what we were just showing. Okay, so now that we have a filter applied on this sheet to the right, okay, we're going to run this, Option D, and just click 2. All of those same filters and widths and sorts are applied, mirroring what we had on the other sheet, right? If you're going to run something over and over again, that's a really helpful way to do it. Now, the one other one we didn't cover here is errors, because I didn't build any errors in this, but if you had an error, like a VLOOKUP or something, let's say we're going to look this up over here. I'm not going to find anything, okay? So if we want to filter to errors, that is Option R. Only have one error in here. So if you've got hashtag value, hashtag name, hashtag NA, or any of the others, it will filter to all of those at one time so you can address what those errors are. Pretty quick to find those. Now lastly, we're going to show you how to run one, not how it works, because that's going to be a separate video. The bulk filter. So that is Option K here, or you can just run it by name through the macro search box. When you run this, it's going to create a setting sheet, gives you instructions on what to do, and you can fill this out. And what this lets you do is apply filters to multiple sheets at one time. So let's say you run a report or you have a file where there are dozens of sheets and you're always going through and you're filtering things in and out within all of those sheets. Then you're saving that and distributing that. This will let you do it all in one step. So you're providing the logic one time and then you run it and you don't have to do it over and over and over again. So look for that video to be done at some point in the near future. It'll show you exactly how to do it. But for now, this has been everything that we need to walk through for the filter picker. Hope you use that one a lot. You found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.